Peace and blessings, family. Yes, it has certainly been a while. Our last live session was actually 2 months ago. Well, a lot has been going on since then. For those on our email list, you should have received an email letting you know that I had another loved one pass away, and I had a lot of travel involved actually two different times. So I needed to pull back and just take some time to rest and unwind. And it's the Most High's grace that the Sunday sessions were uploaded as scheduled. And now I'm trying to play catch up on various things that were placed on the back burner. I also need to say thank you, thank you, thank you to those who donated to help Crystal. Just know that your support was greatly appreciated, and I wanted you to hear me say that. So, we're supposed to be streaming on Hebrew Connect TV as well. Hopefully, everything is working with that link. I hope that you will subscribe to Hebrew Connect. The Most High has equipped Moray Dwayne with skills to create a platform where Hebrews can connect, Israelites can connect. And if you're not connected, we invite you to join us. So let's jump into this. So, this message was actually birthed out of one of those travels that I mentioned earlier. Some of you saw the short videos that were uploaded a few weeks ago about the double rainbow. Well, I did not intend to make those videos public. I was trying to get pictures and a video of what I had seen so that I could show it to my mother. I figured that I would download it to my laptop so that it would be on a screen big enough for her to see it. Then I figured, well, why not upload it to the YouTube account and mark it as private and then show it to her when I got home? Needless to say, things didn't go as planned. Later, when I went into the account, I saw comments from people talking about Yah's promise, and that's a sign of a double blessing for Yah's people. And then someone said, "Where are you all going?" I'm trying to figure out, what are they talking about? Then I saw comments from someone who said they had seen a double rainbow as well. That's when it hit me that the video was public and not private. I was thinking, I'll just delete it, and then saw that over 1,000 people had already seen it. You know that moment when you want to kick yourself, but you just have to laugh? Well, yeah, I got a good laugh out of that one. So I have to tell you the backstory. And when I'm done, you'll see how it ties into this message about not despising delays. So my husband and I were traveling, and he was mapping out the route, and he said there are two ways to get there. The first was a route we would normally go. We had gone that way before. But he said this time we'll take the scenic route and go through the mountains. He said it would take us a little longer, but we had enough time to get there before dark because we knew that we would be going to D.C. And I don't mean Washington, D.C., I mean the country. And sometimes it's hard to see those signs on the back roads at night, particularly at our age. Well, 2 hours into the trip, and something had happened on the interstate, and traffic was barely moving. It was pretty much a slow crawl. So we got off the interstate to take some back roads. We finally got back on the interstate when it started raining. Well, we ran into traffic again, and this was just as bad as the first. So we had to get off the interstate again and go the back roads, and that delay set us back almost 2 hours. So when we got back on the interstate finally, it was right before we got to the mountains, and the rain had picked up a bit. Well, as soon as we started coming down a mountain, we saw that double rainbow. I really wish that we could pull over just so I could take it all in and get some clear shots, because it wasn't as clear through the windshield. Those images in the video I uploaded did not do it justice. The colors were so vivid,
and that rainbow was massive. So a lot of the drivers were slowing down a bit so they could take it all in and still keep their eyes on the road. I could clearly see the 7 colors. There was one primary rainbow and a secondary rainbow with a wide space in between. It was certainly the first time I had seen a double rainbow, and it was simply stunning. I can't tell you how many times I said, wow. It's etched in my memory. Needless to say that we got to our destination after dark. And we were thinking that, well, we probably should have taken the other route. But here's what came to mind. We would have missed that amazing sight if we had gone the other way. So was it a coincidence that we were delayed in traffic, or that we started driving through the mountains at just the right time? So out of that came this message, don't despise delays. And I want to connect it to our journey as a people still scattered in the lands of our captivity. There are some heavy hearts. Folks are just tired of it all, and they want the Most High to hurry up and deliver us. I know the feeling because I find myself sighing about it quite often, just sighing and praying, because we want to see the end of Jacob's trouble and leave the Babylonian system behind. Just know that the wicked system is not just here. Our people are dealing with it wherever they are scattered. But waiting and setbacks can be hard when the desires of your heart are put on hold. Sometimes we just want to get there. But are we missing important aspects of the journey when there's a delay? Here's the thing. This is a journey. And there are lessons we need to learn along the way. The lessons you learn will equip you so that you're able to excel when you get to the destination. Let's look at a few examples. David is an excellent example. He lived in the cave of Adullam. You can refer to 1 Samuel 22. While he was on the run from Saul, he lived in this cave with his family. Now remember that he had already been anointed by Samuel to be the next king, and he had also killed Goliath. Also consider that he had 400 men with him. He was on the run from Saul for approximately 15 years. To be on the run for 15 years after you've been anointed to be king was certainly a delay. The Most High didn't give those specifics when he told Samuel to anoint him. So there are things you find out about on the journey. What else happened during his delay? He had to pretend to be insane to keep from getting killed. Yes, David, the man who had killed the giant. Let's look at this from 1 Samuel 21:10-14. So David escaped from Saul and went to King Achish of Gath. But the officers of Achish were unhappy about his being there. Isn't this David, the king of the land? Listen to how they referred to him. How did they know that? Isn't this David, the king of the land, they asked? Isn't he the one the people honor with dances, singing, Saul has killed his thousands and David his 10,000s? David heard these comments and was very afraid of what King Achish of Gath might do to him. So he pretended to be insane, scratching on doors and drooling down his beard. Finally, King Achish said to his men, "Must you bring me a madman? We already have enough of them around here. Why should I let someone like this be my guest?" We're talking about a man anointed to be king. Yes, he ultimately got to the destination and he sat on the throne and became Israel's greatest king. Scripture says he was a man after Yah's own heart. We certainly remember Joseph's story. Joseph went from being a slave to become an overseer and then became a prisoner for something he didn't do. Now, he was around 17 years old when he had his dream, but that dream was not fulfilled until he reached the age of about 30. Imagine that he was given the vision, but the details about the pit and the prison were not a part of the dream. What happened to him was terrible. Let's also remember that his own brothers sold him into slavery. Do you think he had to overcome some strong emotions associated with that? If you had had a dream about your family members selling you into slavery, you probably would say that wasn't a dream, that was a nightmare. Now let's look at his response when he revealed himself to his brothers. This comes from Genesis 50:19 through 21. Joseph replied, "Don't be afraid of me. Am I Yah that I can punish you? You intended to harm me, but Yah intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. No, don't be afraid. I will continue to take care of you and your children." So he reassured them by speaking kindly to them. So Joseph experienced a 13-year delay. The delay made it possible for him to save his family. Not only that, the Most High had prepared his heart during that time so that he didn't seek revenge. He was certainly in a position where he could have taken them out. But Yah's will wasn't for them to be destroyed, but to be saved. What about Abraham? Abraham's story is certainly one that most of us are familiar with. He was 75 years old when he first received the promise about having a child. He was 86 when Ishmael was born. Now, Ishmael wasn't the son of the promise, but it was 11 years after Abraham was told that he would have a child. So there was a delay. He was 99 when he was told that he would be the father of many nations. Look, he only had the one child and now he's being told that he would be the father of many nations? When Isaac was born, Abraham was 100 years old. We're talking about a 25-year delay. Wrap your brain around that. Now, if you had to wait 25 years to have a child that you were promised, and then you get a word telling you to slay that child, how many of you would have said, "That can't be Yah. Get behind me, Satan"? And yet, Scripture tells us he got up early the next morning to carry it out. Do you think his journey prepared him for that? Let's look at this from Genesis 22:3. So Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son. And he split the wood for the burnt offering and arose and went to the place of which Yah had told him. You know why he did this? Because he fully believed that the Most High would raise Isaac up. How long did it take for his faith to mature to that level? Hebrews 11:17 through 9. By faith, Abraham, when he was tested, what was it? A test. This test came while he was on the journey. He wasn't told about this in the beginning. When he was tested, he offered up Isaac, and he who had received the promises offered up his only begotten son. Listen to this. This is saying he did it Because in the spirit realm, it was as if he carried this out. Of whom it was said, in Isaac your seed shall be called, concluding that Yah was able to raise him up even from the dead, from which he also received him in a figurative sense. We certainly can't forget the saints under the altar. I want you to think about how long they have been there waiting, asking, how long, Most High? Let's look at that. This comes from Revelation 6:9-11. When he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of Yah and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Most High, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth? Then a white robe was given to each of them, and it was said to them that they should rest a little while longer, until both the number of their fellow servants and their brethren, who would be killed as they were, was completed. So what happens when you miss out on the opportunity to learn the lessons you need to prepare you for the destination? You end up like Saul. He didn't have a time of preparation. On the outside, he looked like he was ready. He had everything that the people thought he needed to be their king. But they couldn't see his heart. The heart wasn't ready. He didn't have any scars. He wasn't battle tested. He didn't have time to die to himself. When you don't take the time to grow up, you'll end up following a Korah. Now, in case you don't know his story, let's look at this from Numbers 16:1-3. Now, Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, representatives of the congregation, men of renown. They gathered together against Moses and Aaron and said to them, You take too much upon yourselves. For all the children or all the congregation is holy, every one of them, and the Most High is among them. Why then do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Most High? Let's remember, he was Moses' cousin. We're talking about kinfolk. What did those 250 men see in him? It says they were men of renown. Think about where that would have happened. Was it in Egypt? Did they have status and clout there? Oftentimes we look at external things. Some may look at how much money a person has, the status or popularity, but they don't dig deeper to examine character. Do we take the time to examine the fruit? They challenged the leadership and authority established by the Most High. Let's read a story. This comes from Numbers 16:12-19. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, but they said, We will not come up. Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, that you should keep acting like a prince over us? There you go. They still considered Egypt to be the land flowing with milk and honey. Their heart was still in Egypt. They had a problem because Moses, now they're blaming it on Moses, but we know that it was the Most High bringing them out, but they are blaming Moses for that. So what did they have in Egypt that they wanted to get back to? Moreover, you have not brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Do you see this? Do you see this? They were not thinking that the Most High is doing this. They were putting it all on Moses. This man is telling us what to do. He's trying to control us. Then Moses was very angry and said to the Most High, listen, this is a dangerous place to be when the person who has been anointed by the Most High starts praying against you. Do not respect their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, nor have I hurt one of them. And Moses said to Korah, tomorrow you and all your company be present before the Most High, you and they, as well as Aaron. Let each take his censer and put incense in it, and each of you bring his censer before the Most High, 250 censers, both you and Aaron, each with his censer. So every man took his censer, put fire in it, laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tabernacle of meeting with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the glory of the Most High appeared to all the congregation. Let's see what happened. Now let's look at verses 20 through 21. And the Most High spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. You see that the Most High responded immediately. Then they fell on their faces and said, O Yah, the Most High of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and you be angry with all the congregation? So the Most High spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the congregation, saying, get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, depart now from the tents of these wicked men. Listen, he called them wicked. These were leaders, but they were wicked. He said, touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins. So they got away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents with their wives, their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, by this you shall know that the Most High has sent me to do all these works. In other words, you're going to see a sign. He says, for I have not done them of my own will. If these men die naturally like all men, or if they are visited by the common fate of all men, then the Most High has not sent me. But if the Most High creates a new thing, this is going to be something new, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the pit, then you will understand that these men have rejected the Most High. Who were they rejecting? They made it seem like they were rejecting Moses, but they were rejecting the Most High. Now it came to pass, as he finished speaking all these words, that the ground split apart under them, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men with Korah, with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into the pit. Listen, the earth closed over them. So this wasn't a normal earthquake. The earth closed over them, and they perished from among the assembly. Then all Israel who were around them fled at their cry, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. You all. Moses did things the right way. He placed it in the Most High's hand. All of these people were coming against him and Aaron, and they were still interceding for them. Again, these are things you learn on the journey. You need to understand that in some cases, those closest to you will have a problem with your anointing. because they can only see you as their kinsman, not someone doing what the Most High told them to do or saying what he told you to say. So they want to try to fight against you. Who are you to tell me is normally the attitude. But on the journey, you're going to have to learn how to put it in Yah's hand and let him deal with them. And this is not to say that you need to worship people and make them idols. No. Those who have various roles in their homes, family, etc., certainly should not be puffed up and try to manipulate and control people. They will have to answer to the Most High for that. I'm speaking about times when they are fulfilling their roles and doing what Abba told them to do or saying what he told them to say. When you're not sure about that, just keep quiet and take it to the Most High. Let him confirm it. Now, don't you know that the next day the assembly got mad at Moses and Aaron and blamed them for what happened? Listen to this from verses 41 through 50. On the next day, all the congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron, saying, "You have killed the people of the Most High." Now it happened when the congregation had gathered against Moses and Aaron that they turned toward the tabernacle of meeting, and suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Most High appeared. Then Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of meeting, and the Most High spoke to Moses, saying, "Get away from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment." And they fell on their faces. The Most High responded immediately to what they had said about Moses and Aaron. Immediately. And once again, Moses and Aaron interceded. Family, the power of our prayers are very important. Abba had respect unto their prayers, and he showed mercy. But how long does it take for a leader to get to this level? The heart is perfected on the journey. Don't miss this. You need time for the Most High to mold you and shape you into a vessel fit for his use. That will not happen overnight just because you want to be recognized as a leader. So you start a YouTube channel. It's a trial by fire. The fire is purifying you. There are folks who want the position but not the pain. Any leader who has been tried by fire will tell you, "You don't know my story." You'll never be able to measure the tears. Listen to what it says in Jude 1:8 through 11 about Korah. Likewise, all these dreamers defile the flesh, reject authority, and speak evil of dignitaries. He rejected authority. Yet Michael the archangel, in contending with the devil when he disputed about the body of Moses, dared not bring against him a reviling accusation, but said, "The Most High rebuke you." But these speak evil of whatever they do not know, and whatever they know naturally, like brute beasts. In these things they corrupt themselves. Woe to them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, have run greedily in the error of Balaam for profit, and perished in the rebellion of Korah. What was Korah's problem? Rebellion. He had seen the works that the Most High had done through Moses with everyone else. He had witnessed the miracles, but because he had some status, he let it go to his head and refused to hear Moses because his heart was still longing for Egypt. So those who followed him would have followed him right back into bondage. Be careful of those you follow. Leaders are always going to lead you somewhere. You need to know where that final destination will be, the promised land or the pit. The Most High was bringing them out. He was trying to take them back in. Again, what did those 250 men see in him that they would trust him to that extent? They had a heart problem as well. Now, here is something to consider, and we have to go back to David's story for this. Let's look at this from 1 Samuel 23:13 through 18. So David and his men left Keilah. The total number of them was about 600. They kept moving from place to place. Saul was told that David had escaped from Keilah, so he didn't go there. Sometimes David stayed in places of safety in the desert. At other times he stayed in the hills of the desert of Ziph. Day after day Saul looked for him, but Yah didn't hand David over to him. David was at Horesh in the desert of Ziph. There he learned that Saul had come out to kill him. Saul's son Jonathan went to David at Horesh. He told David that Yah would make him strong. "Don't be afraid," he said. "My father Saul won't harm you. You will be king over Israel, and I will be next in command. Even my father Saul knows this." The two of them made a covenant of friendship in front of the Most High. Then David went home, but David remained at Horesh. So after he left the cave of Adullam, there were other men who joined themselves to him. He now had over 600 men. Even the son of Saul recognized the anointing on him and entered into covenant with him. Why would these men align themselves with David and not the man who was sitting on the throne? Obviously, they had taken the time to take a closer look to see what was driving the man. Saul was being tormented by an evil spirit. Even his own son aligned himself with David. There will always be signs, family, because people can only pretend for so long. At the end of the day, water seeks its own level. We have a responsibility to not allow folks to lead us into a ditch, especially those tied to this Babylonian political system. We have to look at these leaders they put in front of us and examine behaviors and traits. Don't just look at status and the wealth. Just because they're leaders in this system does not mean they should be leaders of Israel. Don't let these folks trip you up when it's time to get out of the lands of our captivity. They may be great politicians, businessmen, entertainment and sports professionals, but those things are not qualifications you need to look for when it comes to leaders in the nation of Israel. Look at this article. You all know who this is, this senator. Soros-backed Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock, who slammed the rich, doubles net worth since taking office. The Peach State pastor, whose campaign was heavily backed by far-left billionaire George Soros, doubled his net worth from just over $1 million in 2020 to as much as $2.2 million in 2024. Warnock, 55, made history in 2021 when he became Georgia's first black senator. Remember the lesson we did about the role of the senators? By defeating incumbent Kelly Loeffler in a special election. Senators all receive $174,000 in salary, and they're only allowed to earn up to $32,000 from side hustles, which is about how much Warnock has been earning as a senior pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, the congregation once led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Is that a coincidence, you all? Just think about it now. It says, but there's no limit on the cash they can rake in from book deals. This article from the Washington Examiner says Warnock boosted by Soros-funded PAC linked to liberal dark money group. Records show. Most of them are receiving funds from dark money groups, the Democrats and the Republicans. I wanted to use that example so that you can be praying about the leaders over our people in the days to come. Start praying now and focus on things that matter to the Most High. Our people didn't consider that when they asked for a king the first time. Let's look at this from Hosea 1:10 through 11. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass in the place where it was said to them, You are not my people, there it shall be said to them, You are sons of the Most High Yah. Then the children of Judah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together and appoint for themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great will be the day of Jezreel. So you see that Judah and Israel are gathered here. So this tells you that this is a last day prophecy. We have a duty and a responsibility to recognize those who are displaying the right fruit.
But now let's talk and just have a heart to heart. What about us? What about you? I know folks are getting weary. If you think about everything that's going on right now, day after day, minute by minute, there's something. There's something. So I know that folks are just, you're anxious. It's like, I got to do something. I got to do something. But are you focusing on the right things? Abraham and Sarah took matters into their own hands and ended up with Ishmael. Joseph asked the butler to remember him when he was restored to his position and mention him to Pharaoh. He told the man that he was stolen out of the land of the Hebrews and that he had done nothing to be placed in the dungeon. So he was hoping to make an appeal to Pharaoh. But when the butler was released, he forgot all about Joseph until the time was right. It needed to be when Pharaoh would have a dream and no one could interpret it. Suddenly, the butler remembered Joseph. Was it a coincidence that the baker and the butler were placed in the prison when Joseph was there? I hope you see where I'm going with this. We were told that we would be brought out of the land of captivity. And for this last captivity, we were not given an end date. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to say, okay, we got 400 years in, that's it. It would have been nice if Abraham had been told that he would have a son in 25 years, but he wasn't given that information. So while we wait, we need to make sure that we're preparing for what comes next. What we know for sure is that the days are short and that the wickedness is getting worse every day. So we're coming to that place where we will have to know how to stand. Do you even have your shoes on? Are you prepared for the battle? When the enemy comes in, will you run away in fear like Saul? Do you know how to pray and receive answers? If not, how will you stand in the evil day? We were told that we will do great exploits, but there's a price to pay for greatness. Let that sink in. But the weak, the fearful, and the unbelieving want things to come easy. They don't want to work for it, not too hard anyway. They don't want to pay the price. But you can't get things of value for nothing. And now is the time to evaluate yourself. How much time do you spend in prayer, fasting, studying the word? How well do you serve? Can you stand in your own strength? The answer is no. So you must do what Abba requires to receive his power. He wants to be able to trust you with it. But would you give a Lamborghini to a 5-year-old? Just think about that. How much power can you really be trusted with? He wants to be able to trust you with his power. But if given too soon, you'll destroy things he wants to save and save things he wants to destroy. Are you battle ready, or are you just on this journey for the benefits? You simply followed the crowd. The information about our history sounded good to you. It boosted your ego. We're the people. And that's really why you're still hanging around. You're not really taking the time to grow in the Most High, to learn about Him, to learn about His character. Here's something leaders and those wanting to be leaders should consider. Peter walked with Messiah 3 years and denied him when he was tested. He walked with the living word. So when you ask for the power of the Most High, are you asking for power you can't handle? I need you to think about that. Are you asking for positions you're not prepared for? Because if you are, know that no, sorry. Know that you won't be the only one paying the price if you fail. Those who follow you will as well. How many men died with Korah? So, this time of delay is really a time of introspection, family. Do you really know how to discern the spirit of the upright leaders? Or are you looking at external things, the charisma, those who are brash, loud, boisterous? They have status. Do you take the time to pray and ask Abba to show you what's in their heart? How did Jonathan know that he should align himself with David and not his own father? What did he see in David? What did he do to make the right choice? He listened, he watched, and he prayed. We know that he was a praying man because it says Jonathan prayed for David. You find that in 1 Samuel 20. When his father was chasing David, it says in 1 Samuel 23:16 that Jonathan went to David at Horesh and helped him find strength in the Most High. We also know that he was a man of courage and faith, referred to 1 Samuel 14:6. So his spirit recognized the spirit that was in David. Now, one thing you'll find in those who are sent by the Most High is consistency. They'll have the same consistent message because they know the word came from the Most High. And you'll also know them by their fruit. The tree is known by its fruit. They're not saying one thing one day and something different the next. They stand on the word they've been given. There were a few exceptions, like when Isaiah told Hezekiah he was about to die, and in response to Hezekiah's prayer and humility, the Most High gave him additional years. So the prophet went back and told him, your life is going to be extended 15 more years. But that happened because of the Most High's mercy. But here's what you need to learn from Korah's story. He perished, and so did those who followed him, the leader and the followers. The Most High proved himself through Moses. So a leader's status by the world standards won't cut it. Take the time to hear and examine what is said. If you don't know how to respond to things they say, pray before you speak and act. Don't hop from channel to channel, asking others what they think. Well, what do you think about this? So and so said this. What do you think about this? Are they your source? Are they the source? Don't wait for others to do for you what you should be doing for yourself. Don't wait for them to study for you, pray for you, hear from the Most High for you. That's why so many of our people are confused. They don't want to take the time to pray, fast, and study. Some don't know how to pray. I encourage you to get the book, In the Secret Place. When you hear something that someone says, instead of trying to seek the Most High, you go to someone else so that they can give you the answer. What is that saying? You value what they say more than Abba? No, you're not expecting to know, or we're not expected to know everything, I should say. But a lot of these little things can be cleared up if folks would just read the book and spend time in Abba's presence. We have folks jumping from channel to channel, arguing about something they heard on another channel. I mean, just causing all kinds of confusion. But if you ask them about their prayer life, or when was the last time they had a prayer that was answered, they can't tell you. They don't even know for sure that their prayers are being heard. Shouldn't that be your priority, to hear for yourself, to learn how to pray, to learn how to study so that you won't be deceived? We have to put first things first. Take the time to do that during the delay. This is serious business, family. There are some who are following folks who are as crooked can be. There's a saying that they're so crooked that when they die, they'll have to be screwed into the ground. Some are fleecing the flock. This awakening is being used so that they can enrich themselves. Others are using it to fulfill their wildest dreams. Now, wives are out there with their own channels, sharing all of the despicable X-rated secrets. Coincidence? Or is it the Most High pulling back the curtain? And I pray that you will pray for that. Pray that He will expose it all. Let them not be able to hide. A lot of it is just pure filth. And people are sitting there listening to it. Well, let's see what she's going to say today. You want to sit and listen to filth. Garbage in, garbage out. There are some folks doing their wickedness and they think they're doing it in secret. But how can you not know that the Most High sees all of it? All of it. He sees it. And you're leading people. Where are you leading the people to? And let's make sure we're not accusing of folks of things if you can't prove it. Don't say somebody told me. Do you know it for a fact? Have you seen the evidence? Family, we have to be able to pray so that we're able to recognize those He has sent. We want leaders who are walking uprightly before our Father, those who will do what is right because it's right, those who abstain from the very appearance of evil, those who will intercede for the people, even when those same people they're trying to help turn against them. We want those who love our Father and love His people. We need shepherds who really know how to serve. And finally, we all need to make sure we are prepared for the battle ahead. We need the whole armor. We need to be wearing it. We need to know how to use our weapons skillfully. We need to know what those weapons are. And we need the power of the Most High to be able to walk in victory. How are you going to stand in the evil day, family, if you're still being tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine? I have people, I cannot tell you how often this happens. Folks are sending me emails. Can you watch this video because so and so said this? And I'm confused. Can you look at it? Now just think about it. And some of these videos are like an hour, 2 hours. Do I really have that kind of time to sit and watch everybody's video because you're confused about a certain point and you didn't take the time to get in the book and try to see what the Most High is saying to you? To you. I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm saying this to help you. We have to grow up as a people. We have to grow up because the enemy is going to come and try to wipe out the weak first. They will be destroyed. They have no foundation. The foundation is shaky. They're living their lives based on someone else's prayer, someone else's study time, someone else's anointing. And that's not to say that the Most High has not given us leaders and shepherds. He has. But not so you can put them in a place where He should be. That's when leaders get the big head. He wants you to know Him for yourself. He wants you to be confident that you can come to your Father and pray and that He will hear you. That you have evidence that I prayed such and such on this date and I received my answer on this date. And there are many among us who cannot do that. They don't know, because they don't want to put the time in. But if you can't put the time in during the delay, when exactly do you think you're going to be ready for the battle ahead? On the last day? When it's time? When it's batter up like Saul? He wasn't ready. He was not ready, family. So don't let that be you. We can take this time and use it wisely. All of the people I mentioned, they had delays. When they were given the promise, when they were given the vision, they were not told, hey, it's going to take you 25 years for this to come to pass. Joseph didn't see that pit. I mean, he certainly didn't see his own brothers selling him into slavery. Really? His own brothers. That wasn't in the vision. So sometimes we want to get in our feelings because it's like, this should have happened by now. And here's what the enemy will do when you get in that place. See, I told you that was all fake. I told you that was all a lie. This isn't true. It's made up. But yet there are others of us out here, we're seeing the Most High answer prayers. We're seeing deliverance. So I am fully confident in His word. And that's the place you need to get to, where you are confident. I don't care who says what. You can say what you want, but I know that I know that I know, and you're not going to get me off of that. Because He has proven Himself. That's the place we need to get to. It hurts to see so many of our people being tossed here and there, You're confused. You don't know what to do. And I don't mind, some of the questions as they come in, but sometimes it's just so overwhelming. And some of the questions, like this, you could have studied on your own. This, you could have gotten the answer with just a little bit of work, a little bit of study time. So, again, that part was heavy. So I had to give you the first part first about delay, because this is the part I really need you to focus on. Now it's our turn to be ready for what comes. Again, if you don't think, this isn't a word in season, then just throw it away, let it go, no worries, keep going about your business. But if you believe this is something you need for right now, then I encourage you to take the next step. Examine yourself to see where you are right now. Because every pot will have to sit on its own bottom. You're not going to be able to stand on someone else's prayers, someone else's faith. There'll come a time when you can't get in touch with that person who will not normally pray with you and hold your hand. You need to know how to send up those prayers, how to grab hold of the altar and refuse to let go. You need to know, because you can say, he answered me before, he heard me before, I know he hears me. Because there are a lot of shysters out there, family, that let's just be real. This awakening has gotten a name that's just, it's shameful. And we're telling people, well, we have the truth. We're walking in the truth now. Well, what is that truth? When you can't even control your flesh. You're trying to get with everything in a skirt and use scripture to justify it. Self-control isn't even on your list. It's all about satisfying the flesh. We have to get better. We have to put the time in so that we can be vessels fit for the Most High's use, so that he can entrust us with his power. Again, you wouldn't give a Lamborghini to a 5-year-old. You already know what's going to be happening, what's going to happen with that car. It's going to be a total wreck. So if you want the power, do what it takes so that when you get it, you can do the right thing with it. If you want to be a leader, do what it takes so that when you get there, you're not bringing shame to the nation of Israel. Again, a bit heavy. Let's see what you all are saying, because I can only do what I believe Abba Yah is giving me to do, what he's telling me to say. And sometimes it's not always peaches and cream. It's not the message to make you get up and shout and, run around the house. Sometimes it's a hard word. But sometimes you grow the most in the hard spots. So just know it's coming from a place of love, of care, because we need to grow up. The times are short. It's short. And you can clearly see it with everything that's going on. Who's going to be able to stand? Who's going to be able to stand? All right. So, all right. Let's see what some of you are saying. Yehuda says when her husband passed, she left the hospice, and immediately there was a huge double rainbow, half the size of Baltimore. Wow, now that was pretty big. Yeah, this one that I saw it was massive. I'm just, like I said, it's etched in my memory, and I mean, that's something I just don't think I'll ever forget. Let's see what else we have. Blessed servant says, endure till the end. Yes, we certainly have to be able to do that. Deborah, she's talking about the rainbow. Yes, it was very beautiful. Let's see. Desiree Dennis, I find myself listening to Brother Lorvin's song, Sick and Tired. Yes, get him on your playlist, your Pandora playlist. Listen to those songs that will edify your spirit. All right, blessed servant lessons to learn through the journey. Okay, Saw says we must be fully prepared for the blessing. Absolutely, we want it. We want it. We want the blessings. Let's see. Lizette says, I never thought his family was with him. Yes, go and read that chapter. He had wives and children there. Deborah B., that really put things in perspective. Yah is not on our time. He sees ahead. That's a very good point. Very good point. Truth Seeking with Veronica, much needed message in this time. How you doing, Sister Cece? Peace and blessings to you as well. And let's see, Lisa, shalom everyone. I'm a new subscriber. I'm excited to be here. Well, welcome to you, Lisa. Good to have you. Let's see. Trying to go through some of these. Peace and blessings to many of you. Haven't had the conversation in a while in the chat. It's good to see all of you back. The other thing I should say, oh my goodness, I'm getting all comments from folks saying YouTube is just unsubscribing them or they're not receiving the messages. Even people on our team is like, I had to go and check my account and I'm not even subscribed anymore. And she said she had to resubscribe several times because she keeps getting unsubscribed. So yeah, you all know what we're dealing with here. You all know what we're dealing with. We're just going to put that in the Most High's hand. Trayvon, all I can say is that is in the Most High's hand. It would be great if we knew the day and the hour, but we don't. We don't. Let's see. How you doing, Sister Alma? Good to have you with us as well. Council's girl said in Genesis when Yah told Abraham that his descendants would be in the land for 400 years, and after that he would judge that nation, Yah didn't say how long. And that is the truth. He didn't. We can definitely see. Look, if you can't see what's happening with these nations, I don't know what to say. Now is not the time for you to turn around. I'm just saying that. You all, if you have not hit the like, please go ahead and do that for us. We'd really appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we have here. Going through some of these. Mr. M.R. Nugru, I think I said it right. The earth swallowed them up. The Most High is so awesome. I mean, I can't even imagine it, you all. I can't even imagine something like that happen. To witness it now, to witness that. And then for the very next day, for our people to come at Moses again. Look, I mean, what is wrong with us? Oh my goodness. Louise says people better learn to stop complaining. Just shut up. Ivan says, if someone's going to rebel, I'm exiting the room. I know that's right. I know that's right. We have to learn how to keep our mouths closed sometimes. We don't have to have an answer for every single thing. We just don't. Saul said, stiff neck for real. They ain't learned nothing. I'm just trying to tell you. Let's see. Okay, let's go back. See what I have here. Okay. Lorraine says, it's so scary to see all of what Yah has done for our people, only to rebel against Yah. And that's the truth, because they saw what happened in Egypt. They saw that. So yeah, we need to all be praying that we won't be stiff-necked and have a hardened heart. But it starts with what's in your heart. When you put the word in there and you learn how to walk uprightly and learn about the Most High's character, then you know how to submit. You know how to submit to his truths. Deborah, many superficial Christians voted for Warnock based on his religious title. There you go. Yeah, we need to look beyond those things. Susan says, I'm from Trinidad, and we recently acquired a new leader about a month and 3 weeks ago. She's Indian Hindu. So there was a bull ritual after she won, and she's running the country from her house. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? All right, let's see. A few more here. Let's see. How are you doing, Sister Carr? Many blessings to you and your family. It's good to have you join us for this section. Let's see. Charles West, a lot of stuff that I've never seen in my lifetime is happening right now in front of my own eyes. I know that's right. But you know what? As I was, I'm just now, picking up on the riots that they're having. And I think our people are finally waking up, because I'm not seeing a lot of brown faces. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not watching the right, channels, but I don't see many of us out there, Yeah, it is a crazy time right now. Really crazy. Jerome says, when you put all your trust in Yah, he provides, he protects. There's no need to be anxious. We're enjoying to do his will, I believe, knowing that day will come. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no need to fear when you're putting your whole trust in him. That's where it needs to be. All right, let's see. I grab a few more because I know it's been a while and you all want to talk. It's like, I want to say something. Yah Saint, all Babylon leaders are compromised. All right, let's see what else we got here. The whole truth, so help me out. We have to come out of Babylon spiritually, mentally, and morally, and constantly pray to the Most High for greater, deeper revelation. I try not to support Babylon entities as much as possible. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for the time that we're here, the things that are necessary. But other than that, we need to pray that he will show us how to separate ourselves from this system. mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I mean, you all, I mean, every time you turn around, it's like, oh my gosh, these people. Let's see what else we got here. Then we're gonna wrap it up so that you all can get to bed. And that is true, Lizette. Everyone who says they are Israel are not of Israel. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that. Let's see what else we got. Sister Vita's. Okay, come on, sis, speak. All right, then let's see. How you doing, Brother Roderick? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Rolanda. I'd be terrified to be in a position that I'm not qualified to be in when dealing with Yah's people. I know, I know that's right. Look, mm-mm, mm-mm. Okay. Let's see, Council's girl. So I'm sorry I send videos, but to share something important. Oh, no, no, no. I'm not talking about those videos. I'm talking about those with specific questions. They want me to watch it so that I can comment on what other people are saying. So I'm not talking about that one. All right, let's see. Okay. Rolanda said, I got to tighten up. We all do. We got to get ready. We need to be ready. Okay. Let's see. And again, if some of you are interested in joining a prayer group, you need to send us an email. We have ladies praying 7 days a week, 2 times on Sundays, actually. And I'm telling you, these prayers are no joke. We've been praying for the Most High to expose the hidden things, to break the back of our enemies. So send us an email and get connected. I know 2 of the groups, I believe, are full for now, but you should be able to get plugged in somewhere. All right. Let's see. How you doing, Biblical Truths and Misconceptions? Good to have you with us. All right. Let's see. Ooh, you all got a lot of comments going on here. Let's try to get down here to the bottom. Okay. Carissa Love, you're telling the truth. The Most High has been dealing with me because I have something to do. All of us have a job. He's looking for a return on his investment. There you go. That's the part. We all have something to do. We all have something to do. And we need to be about our Father's business. Hadassah says Yahuwah is very near to widows. I'm a witness. His presence is very comforting and loving to the widows of Yasharel. Absolutely. The orphans and the widows. All right. Lynn says you're not getting notifications anymore either. So sometimes, and this is the only thing that I know what to do, is to unsubscribe and resubscribe again, and then turn on all of the notifications. But yeah, a lot of people are saying they've been unsubscribed. So let's see what else. Again, I'm trying to scroll through quickly, family, get in as many as I can, and then we'll wrap it up. Jay said, just think how many of us would still be here if there was the kind of immediate judgment as what happened to Korah and the company. Yeah, that's a frightful thought. A frightful thought. Yeah, I want to be able to learn the lessons. I don't want to keep, you know, getting whipped. I want to learn the lessons. I want my heart to be right, to be able to walk in humility before the Most High. So, again, if you have not hit the like button, please go ahead and do that. We're going to wrap up here again. If you have not connected with us on Hebrew Connect TV, be sure to do that and let's support the work that Murray Dwayne is doing to help us have a platform where we can just connect with each other. I believe the moderators put that in the description. You can connect directly to the channel. And if you're not sure about your subscription, you might want to just check to see if you're still subscribed. So we're going to wrap up there, family. Thanks for joining me again. I know, again, it's been 2 months, but I just needed to take some time away. There was just a lot going on, and I needed to step away for a bit and kind of regroup. But Yah, Yah is faithful. He keeps us. He will keep his hands upon us. All right, family. Thank you again, moderators, for all that you do to support the ministry. It's much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, thank you to all of you who helped to support Crystal with her requests. I'm so thankful to you, and I'm just praising that the Most High will give you back a return on what you donated to help her out with that. So let's end it there, family. Join me next time.